when we talk about tough jobs. Most people imagine long hours or physical exhaustion. But blue-collar workers around the world face something far beyond that, risking their lives daily, enduring brutal climates, mastering rare skills, all for a paycheck that sometimes doesn't even reflect the sacrifice. Today, we're ranking the toughest blue-collar jobs in the world, based on 3 brutal criteria: skill required, risk level, pay. Who truly deserves the crown as the world's toughest workers? Each job ranked from 8 to 1, each scored on. Skill S, risk R, pay P, score out of 10 each. At number 8, construction scaffolding worker. Skill 5, risk 7, pay 4, total 1630. They hang from buildings dozens of floors high, assembling structures that let others work safely. A small mistake, a fatal fall. Despite the danger, many scaffolders earn modest wages, especially in developing countries. At number 7, steel ironworkers, the skywalkers of the modern world. Skill 6, risk 8, pay 6, total 2030. If you've ever looked up at a towering skyscraper or a massive bridge and wondered how humans even built something that tall, meet the steel and iron workers. These are the fearless people who assemble the skeletons of cities, often balancing on narrow steel beams hundreds of feet above ground, with nothing but a safety harness. And sometimes not even that. This profession is a brutal mix of strength, balance, and raw courage. Ironworkers must carry heavy steel beams, bolt them into place, and align massive structures with millimeter precision, all while dealing with extreme weather. Strong winds can push them side to side like leaves. Freezing steel surfaces can cause loss of grip. In the summer, the metal can heat up so much it burns through gloves. Danger factor. Fatal falls are the leading cause of death. In the U.S., ironworkers face one of the top 10 highest workplace fatality rates in construction. On high-rise builds, even a momentary lapse in focus can mean a 50-story fall. And it's not just falling. There's also the risk of getting crushed between beams, welding burns, being struck by swinging cranes, or collapsing structures if a single connection is misaligned. Skill requirements, ability to read complex blueprints, rigging and crane signaling, advanced welding and bolting, physical strength and marathon-level endurance, fast reaction time and calmness under pressure. In countries like the United States or Canada, experienced ironworkers can make $50,000 to $90,000 a year. Unionized workers often earn more, with benefits. However, in developing countries, many do this same dangerous work for as little as $15 to $30 a day, often without proper safety gear. Imagine this: you're 70 stories high, the wind whistling past your ears, your boots vibrating on a narrow beam, and below you is nothing but air and concrete. You're tired. It's only 10 a.m., and the job isn't even halfway done. But you keep going, because if you stop concentrating for even 1 second, that could be your last. This job doesn't just require muscles. It demands nerve, trust in your team, razor-sharp focus, and the ability to look death in the face every single day. At number 6, deep coal miners, breathing danger in the dark. Skill 6, risk 9, pay 6, total 2130. Imagine working nearly a kilometer beneath the Earth's surface, in tunnels so narrow you have to crouch or crawl just to move. This is the daily reality for deep coal miners. In complete darkness, lit only by a headlamp, they extract coal while surrounded by unstable rock walls that can collapse without warning. But cave-ins aren't the only danger. Methane gas pockets can trigger deadly explosions. Fine coal dust fills the air, slipping past masks and slowly destroying lungs, causing black lung disease, a condition that has crippled miners for generations. Every shift is a battle against the earth itself, crushing heat, lack of oxygen, deafening machinery, and the constant fear that one wrong move could mean never returning to the surface. It's not just a job, it's survival in the shadows. At number 5, offshore oil rig workers, surviving the ocean's metal beast. Skill 7, risk 8, pay 7, total 2230. Offshore oil rig workers live and work in the middle of the ocean, isolated for weeks at a time on a massive floating structure, surrounded by violent waves, high winds, and unpredictable weather. There's no quick escape. If something goes wrong, rescue may be hours away. Their shifts can stretch up to 12 hours or more, often in blistering heat or freezing cold, operating heavy drilling machinery that can crush, cut, or fling a person in seconds. One slip on a slick metal deck or one miscommunication during drilling operations can result in instant fatal accidents. The ocean environment adds another layer of danger. Storms can tilt the entire structure, forcing workers to hold on as the rig shakes and groans. Helicopter transport, the main way on and off the rig, is itself dangerously risky. Crashes due to bad weather are not uncommon. Fires and explosions are the worst nightmare. Oil and natural gas under high pressure can erupt unexpectedly, unleashing blowouts that can trigger massive firestorms, similar to the infamous Deepwater Horizon disaster. In such moments, workers have seconds to reach. Lifeboats are face-burning, alive or drowning in frigid waters. Beyond physical risks, the psychological strain is intense. Isolation, noise, constant vibration, and being surrounded by open water with no land in sight. Workers live in cramped quarters, far from family, battling fatigue, stress, and the constant awareness that survival depends on teamwork and precision. Despite the dangers, many take the job for the high pay, the sense of brotherhood, and the pride in fueling global energy demands. But every time they board the helicopter to head offshore, they know they're entering one of the most unforgiving workplaces on Earth. At number 4, storm chasers and hurricane rescue crews running into nature's fury. Skill, 7. Risk, 9. Pay, 6. Total, 22:30. While most people flee from hurricanes, tornadoes, and catastrophic storms, storm chasers and rescue crews drive straight into them. Their job is to track violent weather systems, report real-time data, and in many cases, pull survivors from collapsed homes, flooded streets, and debris-filled danger zones. They operate in environments where flying metal, uprooted trees, and collapsing buildings can strike without warning. Winds from tornadoes can exceed 300 km/h, 200 mm/pol, powerful enough to toss cars through the air like toys. Floodwaters can rise within minutes, sweeping away vehicles, equipment, and entire rescue teams if they misjudge a route or arrive too late. Visibility often drops to near zero as rain. Debris and swirling dust engulf everything. Roads vanish underwater or are blocked by fallen structures, leaving crews trapped or stranded in the path of oncoming danger. One wrong turn in a supercell storm could lead straight into a rotating death zone. The physical risk is only part of the job. The psychological toll of pulling injured victims from rubble, sometimes too late, is heavy. Crews must stay calm while making life or death decisions in seconds, often while exhausted, soaked, and surrounded by chaos. Yet despite the danger, these workers continue because their presence can mean the difference between life and death for entire communities. For some, it's the surge of adrenaline. For others, it's a duty to witness the wrath of nature up close and to save those caught in its path. At number 3, firefighters running toward flames when everyone else runs away. Skill, 8. Risk, 9. Pay, 6. Total, 23:30. Firefighters willingly charge into burning buildings filled with toxic smoke, collapsing structures, and temperatures that can exceed 1,000 degrees Celsius. Their gear may protect them briefly, but every second inside is a countdown against heat exhaustion, suffocation, or structural failure. They navigate pitch-black rooms crawling with flames, searching for trapped people, without knowing whether the floor beneath them is seconds away from giving out. A flashover, a sudden eruption, where an entire room ignites at once, can kill instantly. In wildfires, shifting winds can turn a safe zone into a deadly firestorm within moments, surrounding crews in a wall of flames. But fires are only part of the battle. Firefighters also respond to car crashes, chemical spills, explosions, and natural disasters. They pry open mangled vehicles to rescue victims, sometimes while fuel leaks around them. In high-rise fires, climbing dozens of floors in heavy equipment drains strength before the battle even begins. The emotional burden is immense. They witness tragedy up close, families losing homes, victims trapped beyond rescue, and lives changed within minutes. Many firefighters quietly carry trauma long after the flames are gone. Still, they return to the station ready for the next alarm. Because for them, saving even one life is worth stepping into hell over and over again. At number 2, high-voltage power line workers. Guardians of the grid. Skill, 9. Risk, 10. Pay, 8. Total, 27.30. When the power goes out during a lightning storm, most people stay inside waiting for the lights to come back on. But somewhere out there, in the middle of hurricane winds or freezing blizzards, someone is already climbing a 200-foot tower carrying tools that weigh more than a small child to restore power for millions of people they will never meet. High-voltage linemen work on transmission lines that carry up to 800,000 volts, enough to stop a human heart, instantly from several meters away. These lines are often serviced even while still energized, a process called live line work. Some tasks are so dangerous that workers are flown in on helicopters and lowered directly onto the lines and with electricity, actively flowing beneath their boots. Even a slight mistake, a tool placed wrong, a missed grounding step, a miscalculation in electrical potential, can cause a fatal arc flash hotter than the surface of the sun. Their office? A tower in the sky. These workers regularly climb structures up to 1,500 feet tall, taller than the Empire State Building. No elevators, just steel ladders, wind, and fear. At these heights, wind speed is powerful enough to knock a grown man off balance. Rain makes everything slippery. In the winter, surfaces freeze like glass. Now imagine doing delicate electrical tasks with thick gloves while your body is shaking in sub-zero temperatures. There's no pause button up there. No second chances. Only skill, training, and trust in your harness. Skill level, almost a science. This isn't just physical strength. It's an engineering-level skill set. Linemen must understand voltage phases and grounding techniques, constantly calculate safe distances, perform precision tasks while suspended in midair, and coordinate complex operations with helicopter pilots and ground teams. React instantly if something goes wrong. Training takes years, and apprenticeships are brutal because errors cannot be tolerated at this level. Pay, high risk, high reward, sometimes. In the U.S., experienced linemen can earn $70,000 to $120,000 a year, with storm response workers making even more due to hazard pay. Helicopter and live wire specialists can cross $150,000 a year. In developing nations, however, workers sometimes do nearly the same job for only $10, $20 a day, often without proper safety equipment. Same sky, same danger, not the same paycheck. Psychological stress, fighting fear daily. Imagine hanging by a rope above a city, wind beating against your face, lightning rumbling in the distance, and still needing the mental clarity to tighten a bolt just right, because a loose connection might lead to future blackouts or even fires. Many linemen say the hardest part of the job isn't the danger, it's staying calm enough to ignore that danger long enough to do the job right. At number 1, underwater welders, the most dangerous job on Earth. Skill, 10. Risk, 10. Pay, 9. Total, 29 to 30. Working with electricity is deadly. Working in the ocean is deadly. Now combine both, and you get underwater welding, widely recognized as one of the most dangerous blue-collar jobs in existence. Why it's so dangerous? Underwater welders often operate in harsh environments like offshore oil rigs, shipwreck repairs, bridge foundations, or deep-sea pipelines. They battle multiple threats at once. High-pressure environments that can crush the human body. Decompression sickness, the bends, nitrogen bubbles in your blood. Hypothermia in freezing waters. Electric shock from welding arcs. Underwater explosions from trapped gas pockets. Limited oxygen supply and malfunction risks. Complete darkness during deep dives. Marine predators in some regions. Down there, even the smallest mistake. A loose valve, a crack in the helmet. A fogged visor can lead to death before anyone can even reach you. The skill, extreme precision under pressure. This job demands 2 full professions in one: professional commercial diver and certified welder. Training can take years and requires advanced scuba or saturation diving certification, hyperbaric chamber training, structural welding expertise, navigation in zero-visibility water, mental endurance in claustrophobic conditions. You're welding steel structures while floating weightlessly, barely able to see your hands, breathing through a hose that is your only lifeline to the surface. The pay, a big reward for big risk. Top offshore underwater welders can earn $150,000 to $300,000 per year, especially in saturation diving. During saturation jobs, divers can spend weeks living in a pressurized chamber and are lowered into the deep multiple times per day. Pay can be over $1,000 per day, but the personal cost is enormous. High pay isn't a perk, it's hazard. Compensation for walking, a fine line between mastery and mortality. The psychological battle. There's no natural light. The pressure feels like the weight of a building on your body. Communication is limited. You often hear only your breathing. Panic is your enemy, because panicking underwater can kill faster than any failure. Many welders describe the feeling as doing surgery inside a storm, in the dark, with one breath at a time. Why it ranks number one? It demands the precision of a surgeon, the bravery of a firefighter, the endurance of a soldier, and the calm of a deep-sea explorer. In this job, failure isn't just costly, it's final. So when the world's toughest workers are mentioned, never forget the people who weld in the silent, crushing darkness beneath the water, where no one sees their work, but everyone depends on it. From steel beams in the sky to welding in the crushing pressure of the deep sea, these workers don't just do jobs. They face battles that many of us can't even imagine. Which job do you think deserves even more recognition? Would you dare to try any of these for the right paycheck? Comment below and share this video to salute the world's toughest workers. Subscribe for more deep dives into the hidden careers shaping our world. Turn on the bell, because our next ranking might just blow your mind.